With this automation here, you're 100 times more likely to convert your leads, and I'm going to show you how you can build it step by step. So the whole idea of this automation is essentially most businesses reply to their inquiry emails in 48 hours, and that is super slow. It gives customers a bunch of time to go and look through competitor websites and also make inquiries to competitors. Whereas if you respond really, really fast, you're way more likely to convert that customer. And another thing is, the more personalized you make the response to your inquiry emails, the more likely is that that lead's going to respond more, receptively. They are more likely going to want to buy from you because they know you've put that extra effort in and also put that extra personal touch. And that's exactly why I built this automation. So this automation all starts at this Gmail module here, which essentially watches for new emails that enter your inbox. So I've got it set up like this. It just watches for all the emails that enter my inbox. I don't have any other filters on. It's nothing fancy. It's just watches for every single email that goes in. And then this triggers this automation every single time I get a new email. So then we can go and respond to the inquiry ones. But there might be a case where you might not use Google Workspace and you might use Outlook. And this is a super, super simple fix. You just go, click on add a module. And once you go to look to add another module, you can just type in Outlook. And as you can see here, they also have a watch messages module, which is exactly the same as the watch emails module. And every single time I show you a Gmail module within this automation, you can just switch it out for the Outlook comparison module. So now that all the Microsoft fans can also follow along to this automation tutorial, I want to show you what comes next. So what comes next is a ChatGPT module here. And what we're doing is we're passing the email that we've just got into our inbox through ChatGPT. Now, I get some people might think this sounds like a serious privacy violation, but if you actually go through this website here, which I'm just about to show you. So this is a website on OpenAI's site and essentially goes through all the privacy they have for their enterprise models. And the API that we're using here is considered one of their enterprise services. So it all follows this sort of privacy scheme. So as you can see here, under ownership, we do not train our models on your business data by default. And as you can see here, it applies for the API platform. And also there's a bunch of other information about what they can and can't do with your data. So when you're passing sensitive emails through there, you can decide whether it's right for you or not. From what I understand, there is absolutely zero training and your data is just being processed by the AI and it's not being saved there or anything else like that. So now that we got all the compliance out of the way, I just wanted to go through here. So we passed the email through ChatGPT and we checked if it's an inquiry email or not. So I've got it prompted like this. I pass the text content of the actual email through, and then I just say, this is an email I've just received. Is it a custom inquiry? Reply yes or no only. And there's a very, very key reason why I said reply yes or no only. This is because I've set up a filter here. So if ChatGPT responds yes, so it is an inquiry email, then it should go through and complete the rest of this automation. However, if ChatGPT responds no, that means it's not an inquiry email. And that means it shouldn't pass through this automation and we shouldn't be responding to that email because that's something you should probably be checking up on in your own time rather than having an automation respond quickly. So this way, you're actually using AI's decision-making and critical skills to actually decipher whether the email is an inquiry email or not, which is super, super cool. So let's say the email we passed through here was actually an inquiry email. What happens next? Well, then we go and send that email through to Perplexity AI. What Perplexity AI is essentially an AI that has access to the internet, so it can go and research and do things on the internet, just like how you and I would when we go and Google something. So in this example here, I'm using Perplexity AI as a kind of research assistant on the lead that's just emailed us. I want to find out a little bit of information about this lead, so then I can customize the inquiry response, essentially. So this is exactly how I've prompted this. I've set the model up as Sonar, and the content is, here is information on someone who has sent me an email. Research about them and about their company. Tell me what they do, and then I've put the sender name and the sender email address. So this means it's going to go out, and hopefully the sender email address might have their company name in there. So Perplexity will go out, find this person's name, find the company, ideally find what role they do, exactly what the company does, and kind of come up with a paragraph for us about this, so then we can go and personalize our response to the inquiry email. Perplexity AI is essentially just here to grab another data point So, we can enrich our email with more quality data when we send the response, which ultimately will improve the quality of our email. So now we have a bunch of personalized data about this lead. We now want to actually draft up our email. So that's where this next module comes in, called write up a response. And essentially we're using an AI assistant. And this AI assistant is something I've set up in the API Playground, OpenAI API Playground. And it is a Pluto AI expert, as you can see here. And this is essentially a AI, assistant that's trained on our company. It knows exactly what we sell. It knows exactly the procedures of how, we kind of price things, and a bunch of other information has all been trained using this AI. And I'm going to show you how you can build one of these. And I've left the message super simple. I've just said, respond to this inquiry, and then I've passed the text content from here. Also, I've probably forgotten to add this, so I'm going to show you exactly how you can. You go to choices here, you go to message here, and then content. And I'm also just going to tell the AI, if I just go here and then I type in, this is some information about the person who has sent the inquiry. Integrate some personalization into your email. This way now, our assistant, who's trained on all of our company information, also has information about this lead and other research that Perplexity's gone and done. So now it can write a really, really in-depth inquiry email to our lead. So this is exactly how I built out an assistant that's trained on our company. I'm going to go through this relatively quickly because I want to make a more in-depth video about this in the future, but this is exactly how you can go and do it. So you need to go to OpenAI API, and then you need to just sign up, and then you click on Playground right here. So once we're in the playground, you can go and create your own assistant. So I've got this Pluto AI expert, which is our AI automation company. And essentially I've got a bunch of system instructions here where I've fed it a bunch of data about exactly what we do. And also on top of that, you can change the temperature. So this is how, variable the results are going to be and how random the results are going to be. The text format, which I've just left as English. And one of the most coolest features you can do with this thing is essentially you can go and add files. So say you've got a bunch of PDFs about, your company and any other information you want. You can just go here and you can drag and drop all the files you want in here and essentially just click attach. And anytime you go and ask this AI assistant any questions, it can go and reference these files and essentially, give you feedback and give you answers based on what's in these files. It is super, super cool. So now that our assistant has actually gone to work and written out our personalized Pluto AI, kind of thoughtful email, now we want to go and send that email out. And that's where we use another Gmail module right here. And this Gmail module is a send an email module. And it's set up like this. So we've got email address 1, and then we've just put the sender email address because we want to just send it back to whoever sent us an email. We've also got the subject, which is just the message ID from the inquiry. And then secondly, the content. We want the content from what our assistant wrote us, and we've just got that content over here. And then lastly, this will go and send the email to the person that sent us the inquiry email. And then lastly, I've just got a Slack message set up. So essentially, I'm notified that we had an inquiry, it's been sorted and dealt with, and I can go and have a look over the email chain, perhaps when I wake up in the morning if the inquiry was sent at 2 a.m. my time. So there are some changes you can make to this automation. One of the things I thought of is instead of having a send an email module, you can have a create a draft module if you don't fully trust the AI to respond to your inquiry emails, or if you're just trying to practice fine-tuning it. So initially you want to use drafts, and then you want to use the send an email module. So you can just sub out this send an email module here for a create a draft module right here. And this create a draft module will be programmed in the exact same way as the send an email module. It will just end up in your draft folders rather than being sent. There's also another 1,000 ways you can customize this automation. That's the great thing about building automations on make.com, is that they are super customizable. So you can do absolutely anything you want. So another example I just thought of, and I just thought about this literally as I'm recording this video, is you can go add a new module, and you can go and add like a Trello module here. And you can go here and go and create a board, or maybe create a list, our create a card. So this will essentially go and create a new task for someone on your team within your task management system to go, check up on this inquiry, perhaps make a response or a follow-up to this inquiry. You can do anything with any part of your tech stack using make.com just from a simple email that you've got into your inbox. And that is the power of make.com. So whenever you build out automations, think about all the other cool things you could do and add on to this automation to make it that much more better and that much more useful and to save you a bunch more time. That's kind of our philosophy at our AI automation agency. We want to make our automations so time efficient, it just doesn't make sense not to use them. So that's a step-by-step tutorial on how you can build out a flow like this one that responds to customers pretty much on autopilot. If you found this video super interesting, I would love it if you could just interact with it. It helps out a ton. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.